Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
All right, welcome back. Take a Listing Today podcast. They brought us back for a second show. I think that's pretty nice.
Do you believe this? I mean, it's
Wow.
nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, and today's topic, brand new topic, FSBOs. Or for those of you brand new to the business, it is a for sale by owner.
And keep in mind, we know that all the realtors listening to this right now, some of you might not have for sale by owners in your market. Some of you do. So we get that. Today's message may not resonate, but the ones who do, imagine you're sitting at your office with nothing on your agenda. And today we're going to give you some great strategy to book the appointment and go get the listing potentially before the sun goes down today. And this will cost you zero money.
Exactly. For a lot of agents, for sale by owners is a treasure chest to go after because agents sometimes are a little weary. They think, wow, they must have a really good reason for not listing with a professional agent. Yep. But those agents who do go after the FSBOs, there is a great chance that you might be the one that gets in there and takes that listing.
Correct. Exactly. There's a lot of stigma. Oh my God, I had a bad experience. I don't want to call those people. All those people are mean and nasty. Well, that's great then, because that means you most of your competition's gone away, and your people you're really going to compete against, assuming they're priced right and motivated, is very few.
Exactly. So let's start at the top. You're driving down the road, you're going to the office, you're out looking at a neighborhood, driving your farm area as you should, and you see this brand new for sale by owner sign in the yard.
Right.
What is step number one?
Sure, a couple of options. You could actually, the best option would be to pull over and go make an introduction. So we're going to give you some dialogue there, but we'll also give you some dialogue on the phone. So step one would be to pull the car over and to have some collateral material and go knock on the door, make an introduction, and it might go something like this. So they open the door, so you're the homeowner. Boom, I knock on the door.
Boom. Oh, come on, let's do it. There we go, just like last week. Okay, we have a new table here, so we don't have the knocking sound.
Perfect.
Hello.
Jim, hi, Todd Robertson. I noticed you're selling your house for sale by owner. I just want to stop and introduce myself and give you some collateral material here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's for sale by owner. I don't want to list it.
Interesting. Okay, I totally respect that. Let me ask you a question. What made you decide to go for sale by owner as opposed to going with the realtor?
Well, I'll be honest. I like to think of myself as an analytical guy and somebody who can get things done, and I don't see paying a commission when I can just sit here and sell the house myself. It can't be that hard, right?
Well, exactly. And that's a great mindset. And you know what? Any great small business person would have that thought process. So I admire you for that. Let me ask you a question. How did you come up with your price, if I can ask?
Oh, I'm glad you asked because I'm kind of happy about this. So I bought this house 10 years ago,
Okay.
and so here's the price that I paid for it. Now, appreciation over the years is at this percentage, so I added that on.
Okay.
I also did a lot of improvements to the house, so I added on the cost of all those improvements, and I came up with my final number right here.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How soon do you really want to move? And if you got an offer, would you still want to sell your house and go make this happen?
If you brought me an offer?
Correct.
Well, if I get enough money out of it, I would entertain it, yeah.
Correct. And the market's going to only give what the market can give, correct? I mean, there's no way to squeeze out more. But let me ask you this question here. If I was able to get you as much or more money going through me and my company, and we did all the work and took all the liability and you did nothing, if that was able to happen, would you at least want to meet with me for 15 or 20 minutes and see what we do to get you more money in a shorter period of time?
Well, I have to say that makes sense, yes, because I want this amount of money, and if you're willing to do that work and you can put your commission on top of what I want, okay, I'll listen, sure.
Yeah, and I'm not saying we're going to do that because I haven't even seen your house yet, that I just don't take listings for the sake of it. I help people sell homes. A lot of other realtors will take the listing to write it on the board and to say, oh, boom, look what I did. So, and then watch. And then over the phone could be the same dialogue, correct?
Sure, it could be exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Now here's the thing. Let's say we're sitting down with that for sale by owner right now, and we're having a conversation with them. Mm-hmm. And let's say we know that their price is not too way out of line, and they're motivated.
Right.
Okay? So just like you said as a small business owner, okay, I've done my homework. I figure I can do all this on my own and save the commission. So let's go over a couple points, okay? Because I respect that totally, and I would be in the same way if that was my information.
Right.
Two things I want to share with you. Number one is that full brokerage real estate firms have been around for over 100 years. So my question there would be, if everybody could sell their house on their own and save the commission, don't you think we'd have been out of business a long time ago?
It's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, just something to think about. And number two is this, that here's our multiple listing book. Here's a question. So if I'm a buyer and I'm going out this coming weekend to look at properties, and if I'm going to overlook 99 or 95, whatever the percentage is, that are on the market with a real estate company, if I'm going to bypass them and just go to the for sale by owner, what's my only objective as a potential buyer?
I'm trying to save a real estate commission.
So now I'm confused.
Right.
So you're trying to save the commission, the buyer's trying to save the commission. That's not going to happen. Because two things, you've got to do all the showings, you've got to do all the work. So why don't we go down and look at price? And because here's what could happen. Let's say you continue to market your house on your own. You're doing all the showings. You're doing all the time. You're doing all the legal stuff, right? And they want a deal anyway. So then you're going to meet in the middle and watch. So rather than go through 3 months, 6 months, or a year of that, and then go with the real estate broker, why don't we go ahead and pick out price and get your house on the market today?
And that's the main reason, would you agree, that a for sale by owner doesn't want to list, is to save the commission?
Exactly. And until we can educate them with rapport, right? We have to have rapport. We have to share with them a couple strategies because it's really 100% the truth.
Mm-hmm. What techniques or what dialogue would you use to put a for sale by owner at ease? Because we're going to assume that they're a little apprehensive. They probably are getting bombarded by real estate agents and brokers calling them up, wanting to list their property. What would set you apart from all the other agents? What would put the for sale by owner at ease that, okay, it might be all right to actually give a listing to you?
That's beautiful. Step number one, I would say, is never make them wrong, right? So they're in a situation where they made a decision to go this route. So we don't want to make them wrong at all. So we want to let them know, hey, I respect that, and use some dialogue that's natural to you. And really just start asking some questions in terms of where do they want to move? How quickly do they want to be there? How long has your home been on the market? So getting them talking about themselves and getting them very much at ease. So we're not talking about us, our marketing plan, anything. The phone is designed for one thing, is to set the appointment. So as long as we have that good rapport and I get them to open up to me and to let them know, no, it's not why I'm calling. I mean, I haven't even seen your house yet, so I don't even know if I could help. But as long as we get them talking about themselves, and then we can throw in a couple things in there to say, right, why would a buyer bypass all of them and just go to?
Right. What would you say is a good objection handler if a owner says to you, I don't want to list my house, but if you've got a buyer, bring them by, I'll pay you a little commission, but I'm not listing.
Right. I would say no, and I would say you're not motivated. I would go on to the next for sale by owner.
Okay. So it's okay to say no to a for sale by owner if you want to do it. And you know what? No right now doesn't mean no forever.
Exactly.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
Lisa, producer in the
Hey,
background.
Lisa,
Hi.
welcome.
Hi, thank you. Just thinking, your listening audience, I had started thinking about this. So if you have somebody that's rude or somebody that just doesn't seem too open to a conversation, as an agent, would you walk away from that and move on? Or would you keep following up with them, maybe send them something through direct mail, visit them at an open house? How would you handle that? I would imagine many agents do that one shot, try it one time, they're off, they're on their way. Who sticks around and keeps trying to develop that relationship, build that trust?
Sure, and I would say it's the agent. So let's say you make a phone call and go meet them and they're crusty and crabby and you're not able to get through, right? Well, here's what's good about that. So if I'm that agent, I want to stay in it until I find out if you're priced right and motivated. So if you're like that, I like it actually as a realtor because I know that's going to scare off 95% of competition. Would you agree? So I would stay with them, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a visit, whether it's a. So I want to stay in it until I find out, are you priced right and are you motivated? And if so, I can help.
Right. And if you don't get the listing on the first round, there are some techniques you can do to follow up. For example, stop by their open house, because I'm assuming that they're going to hold an open house if they're trying to sell it on their own. Stop by, say, hey, how's your open house going? Maybe not condescendingly, but great open house you're having here. What kind of success have you had getting offers, etc. And maybe some direct mail. Doesn't hurt to send a little thing to their mailbox every now and then. maybe something targeted directly towards what a for sale by owner is feeling and experiencing right then.
Exactly. And I want to elaborate on something you brought up about the open house, if I may, because think about this. If I'm that for sale by owner and I'm holding an open house on Sunday, so not only am I taking my Sunday, I'm spending money in the newspaper, and I'm having to qualify people that go through. That's not my profession. So that person, unless you're a retired real estate agent or something, really is spending a lot of time and money where we know the buyers have one incentive to go to that open house. So they go, ooh, I'm going to get a great deal.
Exactly. And you're going to have a lot of people go through the open house that have no business being there.
Right.
You've got the onlookers. You've got people who are trying to steal the china from the dining room. I mean, which is something that a real estate professional obviously kind of pre-qualifies somebody before they take him around to an open house.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So here's what I'd like to say, that those of you listening right now, and really we're just speaking to one person, okay, is that thousands of people know. One person listening right now that has potentially nothing going on today, that could have a cup of coffee or whatever they drink, whatever their morning routine is, and could they listen to this podcast, take some of this dialogue, whether it's on the phone or in person, right? Because in that city, there could be 15, there could be 22, there could be 5 for sale by owners. All we need is one appointment. That's right. One appointment that's motivated. And is it possible to set that up this afternoon at 4:30 or 7, depending on when both decision makers are there, so we can stop by and do one thing. If we can make you as much or more money going through us as opposed to going on your own, and we do all the work and you do nothing, wouldn't you want to know about it? And the great magic is it is 100% possible. Not always easy. It's going to take some courage and guts, but it's possible to come back before the sun goes down with a signed, boom, listing agreement in my hand.
Exactly. And it's not easy, because if it was, there wouldn't be for sale by owners out there.
Exactly.
They aren't the easiest, right?
Don't they even say in sales that it's really about timing? That if you, let's say you are able to find 10, 15 for sale by owners on the market that day, it's about hitting that individual at the right moment when they're getting frustrated and they're open to a new idea. Sales is so much about timing, so that's why those numbers work in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point, because maybe if the person calls them and stops by too quick, they haven't been beat up enough, and they have that enthusiasm. Oh my gosh, I'm going to save the commission. But that's a great point about timing, because maybe they've held 2 or 3 open houses and got beat up. Ad spend. 0 result. So timing is huge. And that's why we say you can't take it personally, right? No doesn't mean no right now, right? So maybe they're just excited with that enthusiasm. Then we catch them at the right time. Boom, we get the signature.
Excellent. FSBOs done.
For sale by owners. So here's what's nice. Those of you listening right now, and those of you that have the courage and the guts to go make this happen, send us a message. I'd like to know that somebody listening right now, one person listened, went out, took a listing, and brought it home before the sun went down.
Nice. And that's the name of the podcast, Take a Listing Today. And by the way, we are sponsored by ProspectsPLUS. And ProspectsPLUS offers, wouldn't you know it, for sale by owner postcards, flyers, door hangers, so you might want to check them out, ProspectsPLUS.com. Thank you for visiting us today. Next week, a whole nother topic which you will love to hear. Thank you, Todd.
Had a great time.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
So long for now.